Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to, I guess this is our third Zoom Power Hour. So just as I was mentioning earlier, today I don't have a presentation prepared because like I mentioned, there's only so much that we can discuss about the ad content. I already gave you some ideas and tips on how to come up with the script or the story ad or whatnot, and then also tips on how to record and all that. So basically, you guys just need to apply it and practice. So so today the room is going to be open for Q&A. And so if people have questions, feel free to ask. Or if someone's got an ad they're running and they want to share and just have me look at it here with everybody and just to get feedback, not just from me, because, everybody may have they may see different things, right? So it's just to hear feedback from your peers and to see what they say or think. So with that being said, any questions? No question? Well, you guys just come here with questions.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How long is the learning phase for the Google ads, the YouTube ads? Sorry.
It's hard to say. I don't really know exactly, but it also depends on your budget too, right? Because obviously, if there's more money, they're able to get show your ads more and get more data or more content. So that's why it varies. So I say like 3 to 5 days, somewhere there. I know that if your ad account is seasoned and you've been advertising for a while, they have a lot of data on your ads. So the learning phase is a bit shorter. But when you are a new ad account, which means they have zero data on your ad account, which means it may take longer for them to learn. So for example, if you've been advertising on YouTube for over a year, they already collect a bunch of data and they know what type of audience that likely will resonate with your content, which is our video ad. Then, when you test a new ad, then they particularly show those group of people. And out of those group, they try to find selectively certain people that will. So the learning phase may be a bit shorter. But whereas if you're a brand new one, they're trying to find the right audience for your type of ad. So that's why it may take longer. So that's why when people transition from Facebook to YouTube, I find a lot of people struggles or they get discouraged because honestly, if you run YouTube, you got to be prepared for the first month, around at least the first month, with you consistently advertising, that you're not going to get much results because it's just you're collecting data. And that happened to me because we hear so much success story about people killing it on YouTube. So then we all jumped over to YouTube, but no results, no success. So you're saying, oh, maybe YouTube is not for me. But then, when Facebook shut us down, we have nowhere to go. So we go back to YouTube. And this time around, it seems to pick up and do better. So that's why when you do YouTube, just be a bit more patient.
Patient is key. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've been running ads for like 2 different ads for the past 4 days now. But on my dashboard, it says like it's in learning phase. So it's not charging me or anything like that. So but I got like 2 leads. So I got 2 leads.
Yeah, you can still get leads because your ad is still running. It's just learning is still collecting your data. So if it's still learning, maybe it's like in their algorithm is not optimizing at the level they want because they're still collecting data to find the right people to optimize your ad. But obviously, anytime you run an ad, whether it's learning or not, you still can get leads because the ad is being shown. But you're saying it's not charging you money. So I don't understand.
Yeah, that's why because it's green, it says, what do you call it? It says enable, but it's not charging me anything. It's been like, I think
if it's not, maybe you're not looking at the data correctly, because if it's not charging you money, then it's not running your ad. Because if they're running your ads, they have to charge you money. So if you don't mind, you want to share your screen and I can take a look at your dashboard and to see or maybe you're just putting the parameters incorrectly. So that's why you don't see its charge. So you just, like if someone's new, they might not know how to navigate wait, I gotta enable you to share first. Sorry. Okay, you should be able to share now.
See?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the bottom two is your active one, right?
Yeah, so it's these two right here.
Okay. And the cost, you are right. It is showing 0, which means it's not spending money.
So
Okay.
that's why I'm kind of confused because I did get 2 leads yesterday
Okay. But
from this. So I don't know if it's from this, but like I did get leads. So.
okay. I'll just need to scroll up a little bit. Okay, just close that apply view. Like, oh no, I see it now. No, you don't need to do that. You see where near the top it says custom January 1st to 29. So you need to reset that date. So you need to click on today.
Oh, today's the 2nd.
Then click apply. So there's a column on the left side that says today, yesterday, whatnot, but you can click on the date as well and then click apply. Did you click apply? No, you didn't. So you can just click on today on the left column there. It's quicker if you just want to see today's results. Left, move your cursor over to the left.
Oh, today here.
Yeah, or yesterday.
There you go.
See, because the reason you're seeing $0 spending, it's because you should see some money now once it's load. So the reason you're seeing 0 because you're looking at today, but your date range is from January 1st to 29, right? So if you can scroll over to cost now. Oh, you have to scroll up a little bit because your 2 campaign moved up to the top of your list now. So yeah, so you can see their cost. It's spent $5.50 and then $5.84 on your ad today so far. So that is probably why you got 0 because you put in a different date range.
I guess.
When did you start advertising this? So see, you started on the 30th.
On the 30th, yeah.
Yeah, but earlier, remember when we first go into it, it says from January 1st to 29. So obviously from 1st to 29, your ad wasn't even active. Obviously, it's spending 0 money. So you can also, so that's today, but you can go, I typically, because it's only been a couple of days that you started. If you start on the 30th, the one thing you guys should know that with the Google dashboard here for YouTube ad, it's usually delayed. You may get a lead today, but it'll still show 0 in your conversion because it's not instant tracking here. So if someone click register, you're not going to get 1 conversion. Facebook is good at that. Facebook, if someone signs up, you will get a notification you got 1 conversion right away. Google is a little bit delayed. So to see so the stats for today is not going to be accurate. So usually if you want to see the actual stat, you have to go back like 2 days, right? So for example, you click on that calendar and you click on, let's go to the 30th. So just click on January 30th only. And then put apply at the bottom there so that you see the word apply. Yeah, click apply. And then that will then it's just going to show you the stat for the 30th. And let's see. So see on the 30th, it spent $13 and $6. So 1 campaign, 13, the other 6, and it has 0 conversion. So now we can click and let's see how it did on the 31st. So that was 2, because you said you got 2 leads so far. So let's just figure out what day you got the lead from. So go back to that custom range again and click on the 31st. Because you didn't double click on the 31st only right now, your date, it's okay. I'm just trying to tell you that you are date range from 30 to 31st. So just not the 1 day, you have the 2 days. So here is the 1 day and it's still 0. So let's see what you get on the 1st. So since it is active and you have gotten leads the last 2 days, then most likely it should be coming from this ad. When did you see there? You got 1 lead there. And then when did you get the leads? Yesterday or today?
Yesterday. Both of them yesterday.
2 yesterday. So it could be that this is delayed and it doesn't show up yet. Like I said, even though it was yesterday, like like tomorrow or the next day, if you log back and you check February 1st, it might show two, not just one. So it's a little bit
Okay.
delayed. So normally you guys, when you check this, when you want to track to see how well your ad is doing, I always recommend, Fuzzy, if you can click on that little, custom date range again. So on the left column, you can see there's the last 7 days. So click on that. So typically, if I want to see how well the ad is doing, I always look at it at least the last 7 days, or I'll do the last 14 days, which is 2 weeks, because we got to accept the fact that our ads are not going to perform like this every day. There'll be day that I'll get like many leads, and there'll be day that it gets like 1 or 0, right? So that's why when you just look at it by day, and especially you get 2 bad days in a row, then you feel, oh, my ad's not working, my ad's not working. But you have to look at it as a window, like a window, a frame of time. Because like any business, if you open a restaurant, not every day you're going to be super busy. There'll be a slow day because, throughout the week, people schedule, on the weekend, maybe they're more on YouTube, so more likely more conversion. Or on the weekend, people are out, like shopping, out and about, party and stuff, so they're not online, so they're not going to see your ad. So that's why the activity changes with people's life. So that's why we got to look at it over a time to really get a clear picture how well our ad is doing, right? So yeah, so for example, because your ad is really new, so we can't do the last 7 days or the last 14 days, even though we do the last 7 days, but technically it's just been the 30th, 31st, 1st, and today's the 2nd, so it's not even 4 days yet. Right. So we did choose the last 7 days. And so far it does only show one conversion. And that one conversion is costing you $158. So you get at the very bottom, you'll see the total conversion you got for, but then also it could be from your, actually, that 158 is because it's from your other ad as well. From your first one, the first video, because when you look at the cost column, your second ad, which is video conversion 2030, it spent $46. The next one is 47, but then your very first first ad there, it spent 64 because we're putting in the last 7 days, so it included that other ad which you already turned off. So that's why that total there is not accurate. So we can just look at each ad individually. So the first active ad that you have here, one lead costs you 46, and then the other one was 47, but 0 conversion, right? So today is day 4, and it's giving you 1 lead at 46. That is still high, but like I said, Google does need time to pick it up. So sorry, I just want to check to make sure there's nobody in the waiting room that's waiting for me to let in, because sometimes I get carried away talking and then I forget that people want to hop on. Okay, no one's waiting. Yeah, so I don't know how long you have been on on Google and running ads. So if you have been running ad on on Google for at least a month or 2, and if you're getting these stats, then that's just the fact that your ad is not effective, right? So it's not working, because $46 a lead is way too expensive, even for me, even though I can afford a high cost per lead. So I aimed between $15 to $20. Of course, anything less is better, but I'm just saying I'm comfortable if my lead costs me $20. There'll be days where they'll get like $25 a lead, but then if it's consistently being high for the next week at $25 or more, then I may turn that off and test something else. So the thing with advertising is that we don't like to have to record a new video. We don't like to test it, and then we just let it run, hoping, wishing that it will be better tomorrow. Maybe it's just a bad day. Maybe tomorrow I'll get more leads. So we keep hanging on to that hope, and we don't go and, just cut the rope on it and let it die and start a new one. So we got to learn not to be attached to our ads and not to be attached to our videos. So we just have to, that's why we go, this is testing, right? So if it doesn't work, then we move on to the next. And I know that is the struggle. It's like, oh, I don't know what else to write. I don't know to create another ad, because it takes a lot of effort to come up with an idea for an ad. So then you feel like, oh, you can't come up with it. So sometimes you don't have to necessarily be super like crazy and come up with something completely new or different. Because if you can see from, you can stop sharing your screen now unless you have something else to ask me. But
No, I think that's pretty much it for now.
okay,
with
that's
this
good.
one.
So at least you
Well,
know how to navigate. Yeah,
do
so
you
at
think I
least you
should
know
still
how
let
to
it run?
find.
So you think I should let it run for a few more days and then shut it down and then put another one? Or you think I should optimize it or just leave it for now? What do
So
you suggest?
okay, before I can go into details about that, I need to know a little bit more about your ad. So are you running it in English or in your native language?
Native language.
Native language. But then are you able to choose your language in the you know how when YouTube choose the language? So you can, right? Because I know
Yeah.
for some people, their native language is not in the list of language on Facebook or YouTube selection, so they cannot choose their own language, right?
Well,
So
it's not like my own language, it's like Persian, but
okay.
they're the same, but like
Okay,
they're
so it's just
most of the
in
time
the
it's
end,
okay.
it's not English. So it is a different language other
It
than
is,
English.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good. So I need to know that detail because if you're running a native language ad and you're able to select that, then it's a bit different than from you're selecting an English ad or English in the ad set. So it is in your native language, then when for me, when I run in my native language, which is in Vietnamese, you don't need to do as much optimizing because, you know, let's say in Canada or US, YouTube, it's an English platform. So you're going to have millions or billions of different content that is in English. So when you choose the English language, there's so much content for your ad to be, you know, put on in so many different videos. So that's why the audience is very broad. That's why we have to narrow by in a location or certain specific interests. But when you are selecting a specific language other than English, obviously in America, Persian speaking is not going to be well, there's going to be millions, but I'm not saying like that much. So it's already narrowing your content down that your ad could be presented in is only Persian channels or videos. So you already limited your audience. So when you do a select language, then basically you don't need to do any other targeting or anything. So the only thing I would do is location, which typically I would put the whole country. So either currently I'm only running in Canada or US. So I would have a campaign just for Canada and a campaign just for the US. So that way I know where my leads are coming from. Because if you combine Canada and US and you're getting leads, sometimes it's hard to tell if they're from Canada or if they're from US until they become a bar, then you do know, right?
Yeah.
So I like to separate. That's for me personally. I separate that way. And then so you choose location, which is a country. And then the next one I would choose the age demographic. So depend what you're comfortable with. For myself, it's 25 to 55. And I think I mentioned why I say this last time. I feel like below 25, they're too young. They're out of school. They probably don't have the money. And they're probably not, because they have the whole world ahead of them, right? So they're not going to think ahead the struggles they're going to have in life because they feel like, you know, they have the whole world at their hand, just starting out in life, right? They haven't experienced the struggles yet. So that's how I feel like they're not in the right mindset for this business, even though we do have some people that are below 25, but I just feel like it's rare. So then 55, because I feel I can resonate with them because their kids would be around my kids' age. And for me, I feel like anybody older, I feel like it's hard for me. I feel like it's hard to work it because their mindset will be so set and maybe technically they're a little bit challenged. So it takes more effort to work with them. So I am being selective in that way because I don't have the time to train people like literally that does not have any technical skills that need a lot of one-on-one. But for newer people, you know, if you have more time and you're okay to do that, then you can just have it up to 60, right? Or 65, whatever you feel is good. But for me, that's my age range. So then the other thing is, I think the next one they have is the parenting or no parenting. I think I do choose both because not everybody disclose if they are a parent. And I feel like whether you're a parent or not, this business can still work for you. And then the other thing, I think if you run in Canada, I mean, in US, they do have an income. So the top 10% and then 20 to 30 or something like that. So I usually exclude exclude. So I don't choose. So I the top 10%, and I don't choose the lower below 50 or something. So the top and the very bottom, I exclude, because my mentality is if they're in the top 10%, which means they're making a lot of money. So they're probably not going to be wanting to start an online business, right? So they probably don't want to. So I don't want to waste my money showing my ad to those people. And then now if they're at the lower end, I exclude, because I feel like this business require investment. So if they are on the lower end, they may become leads, but they're not going to be quality leads. So I don't want my money to be spent on leads. You know, it gives you a false sense of hope, because you're getting so much leads, but nobody's becoming a buyer because they're probably all poor quality leads. And often I feel like those people are the ones that are in the mindset that they just want get rich quick, right? They see, oh, money, they jump in, they watch the webinar, and then, the next step they need to pay. Even if they do end up paying, they just feel like there's so much work and effort. They're not going to do it. So I just feel like that's why I think, as you guys all know, I think the people that are the best audience in our business are people that have jobs, that have a stable income. They're not that they're well off, they are getting along, they're getting by, they survive, but they want more out of life. They don't want to just live paycheck to paycheck. They're not broke, they're not poor, but they all have homes, they all have jobs, they are making money, but we all know that life here is expensive. So you just rely on your job alone is just going to get you by. And if you want to get ahead, or you want to have that financial security for retirement, or just going on that vacation without stressing, right? Or for a lot of us, mom is just wanting to be able to have the flexibility that, maybe cut back on our current work part-time so that we have more time with our kids, but we're still generate income, because obviously we all have a choice. You can quit our job, have all the time in the world, but we can't afford our life, right? But then if we continue to working, we're missing out on a lot of time with our kids. So I feel like those are the sweet part of the audience that we have. So that's why I choose that age and that income. So with your ad being in your language, and if you choose those targeting already, as I mentioned, then it just means the reality is the ad is not effective, is not attracting people. So we just have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new one. And as I mentioned earlier, we don't need to come up with some radical new idea. It's just testing. So switch it up, change the shirt color, go record outside, go record in a different place in your house, right? Or change your hook line in the beginning. So just little thing, because because at the end of the day, we all have the one story to tell, right? Of ourselves. And that's our story. But then if you've seen other people's ad, if you think about it, it's all the same pattern. That's why last week I shared with you the feel, felt, and found method. If you look at it, everybody is sort of the same, right? They'll start off with a question that is sort of asking them a struggle or a pain point that's happening in their life. And then the next, you share your own story, how you had that same struggles and how you found this business, which is the solution, which helped you, overcome that struggle, right? You're not stressing about your finance anymore. You have the time to be there for your kids now. No more guilt feeling. So it's still the same pattern. It's like, there's nothing new. It's like, I've showed you my ads. If you looked at it, it's just that same story I've been telling for the past 4 years. It's just, I re-recorded, maybe change the hook line, change the shirt. And honestly, the more you do, the more comfortable you're going to be and the more confidence you're going to be. So when your audience watch your video, they can sense, how comfortable, how confident you are. And I know obviously for a new person, recording a video is already a huge step, going outside of their comfort zone. So I applaud you for actually doing that. So don't beat yourself up if you don't see success yet, right? Because I didn't find my winning video with my first record, honestly. And I didn't get on the second one. I probably tested, I wouldn't say hundreds, to be honest, not there, but at least 20, 30. I might record 4 or 5 at a time, but out of those 4, I might just only one and test that one. And I don't even test the other 4. And then if that works, that is good. If not, then I might go and test something else or record again. So like I said, the more you record, the more confidence you're going to be on the camera. And when you're audience watch your video, they can feel that, okay, because what you are advertising is that you have a business solution that can help them, right? But if your audience cannot sense that you are confident or you know what you're doing, then how can they have the confidence to join or register under you, right? So if they feel like you're unsure, you're not confident, you're like, okay, she doesn't really know what she's doing. She doesn't feel confident. So how can she help me? So just flip it around and put yourself in your audience shoe. So that's why it's, it's not easy, but the more you do, like with everything, it's just the more we practice, the more we do, the better we're going to be at it, right? So honestly, nobody comes into this business with marketing background or, actor, actress, or being comfortable. Well, there are a few people, but even those few people are not the super successful people, to be honest, right? So there's Mildred, which as we all should know, super successful, having tons and tons of buyers, but she didn't come from marketing. She didn't come from advertisement, but it's just her stepping out of comfort zone, doing videos. And I don't know how many she tested before she had her winning ad. So that's just it. And the other thing, I think sometimes we struggle, especially newer people or people that's been in the business for a while, but don't have a lot of results. We struggle with the insecurity. It's like, oh, I have no results to show. Like, so how can I be confident? How can I say all this, right? So I know it's hard, but over time you will build that confidence, because just think, you didn't say you make 10,000, right? I can say that, but I'm saying other people cannot say that, because that's not true. You probably didn't make 10,000 a month yet, but in your video, you didn't specifically say that you made 10,000. You're just asking the question, how would you like to make 10,000 a month and still have time for your kids? You're just asking, how would you like to do that? You didn't come out and say, oh, I made 10,000 a month, right? You're just saying, how would you like it? Because it is true, because in our community, there are many, many people that are a 5-figure income per month, right? There's so many people that are making over 10,000 a month. And that's the truth. So when people come in here, they have that potential. Who knows? You may not make the 10,000, but your mentee can come in and they can make that and surpass you. So they still have that potential to do that, even though you didn't make it. So you're just putting it out there for them. So you're not, like I'm saying, you're not lying. And whatever everything else you said about the training, the system, that is all true. Automated system, no selling involved. We got step-by-step training. You have mentoring coaches. So all of those are truth, right? And then I think I did mention that, like we talk about results, but like I said, you don't have to directly talk about your results. You can say, people in the community have be able to pay off homes, bring parents from overseas immigrate to Canada or whatever. And you're just leveraging other people's success, right? And then in the end of it, you can also see, you know what, I'm so grateful I found this business, because I know this business can help me, be there for my kids. Because you're just saying, like, you don't have it yet, but without a doubt that, within a year, 2 year, if you're consistent with this business, it can give you that goal or that result that you want, right? So those are just way where, honestly, everything we do in this community is based on integrity and honesty. So you don't want to be lying in your ad, because when they come in, they're going to know it's not true, right? And you don't want to bring people in that way, because they're going to know. So that's why you just have to be creative how you present the business to them in your ad, right? And a lot of it is just talking about your story and how it helped you change. But for some of us, maybe we don't have that financial gain yet. But I'm sure, like for me in the beginning too, without any financial gain, I already felt like I've gained a lot in terms of personal development. I'm able to change my mindset. And it just opens up this whole new possibility for me, right? Where I'm not stuck in that same old way of working, and just feeling, okay, if I want to make more money, I just have to work more, right? And so we're just open up so much possibility for us. Jose, you can stop sharing your screen now, and we'll just see if anybody else have questions, or if they want to share their screen, or if they want me to take a look at their ad. If you want, you can show me your video since we are on your screen. Like I won't be able to understand it, but I can see, maybe I'll be able to give out some pointers, like just from the visual. Like you can play the first, I don't know.
Karen, I have a question real quick.
Sure.
On this new way of YouTube, you know, everything has changed. When you put on a campaign, what do the change that we have, is it also in the keywords, like the value of the keywords? Do we have to pay, go check on the keyword and see how much it costs so we can use it? All of that is removed, right?
Yeah, so I think for keywords, it's only applicable to Google ads, like Google search ads now. I think if you run a video ad through Google Dashboard, which is a YouTube ad, right? So Google owns YouTube. So when you run a video ad through Google, because when you create an ad, it's through Google ad account. So when you do a video, it's YouTube platform. So when we do, so they have removed that. So we no longer have the option to do keywords. So, and I think we don't even have the option to do, I think, channels or placement either. So all of that is removed. I think the only thing that's left is, I think, audience. And audience is like, you know, people who are interested in, you know, online marketing and stuff. So they have those things that you can select, or you can create your own custom one. But I haven't done that. I honestly don't really know how to do it either. Because like I said, it's always changing. Something is always new. So I don't do that. And I just feel like I would just narrow, if you're running an English ad, which means it's quite broad, then maybe just narrow it by location. Or you can try a few of the different audience that they suggest, right? You know how lifestyle, right? You know, they are into outdoor enthusiasts, or they are into online marketing or banking or financial or banking stuff. So they do have a few, you know, not a few, they do have some selection that's, you know, that is already pre-made in their platform that you can choose, but they also have the option for you to create your own. So yeah, definitely if you're doing YouTube, there's no longer keywords that you can do. So you don't need to go do the keyword search and see which one is a good keyword that has lower cost that you can use, right? So that one, no, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Karen, I'll share it with you.
Okay, sure.
You won't understand, but you know.
Yeah, like I said, we won't understand. Maybe somebody here can understand, but then we can just see just the content, like the facial expression and how. So a good thing is I see that's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which is good. It's not long.
Okay. Can I play it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
For some reason, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No, we can't hear the video. Maybe it's on. Can you hear it from your end?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you know what? Let me send it to you, because I think there was somebody else that you couldn't even hear theirs while out, like they were sharing, but then like the host, they were able to play it and then you could hear it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Oh, wait, I need to share my screen.
Just wanted to start a business. Yes, you need to sell those. And then this happens. Oh my gosh, I just made
Can you guys see my screen?
every day hundreds of business.
سلام به همه شما عزیزانی که
Can you
همین
hear?
الان تماشا میکنین. انشالله در هر جای دنیا باشین جور صحتمند باشین. آیا شما دنبال کسب و کار میگردین که آنلاین باشه و 100% قانونی باشه و بتونین تایم کاریتان کمتر کنین و ساعتهای زیادتری همراه فامیل و اولادا بتونین سپری کنین؟ من فوزی هستم از کالیگاری کانادا، همراه شوهریم و 2 طفل زندگی میکنیم. خودم یک اکاونتنت هستم به پروفشن و یک آنلاین بزنس اونرم هستم. این آنلاین بزنس ما یک بزنسی است که تقریبا 2 سال پیش شروع کردم و میخواستم با شما شریک.
Okay, so we don't understand you, so I won't play the whole thing, but you know, I'm going to give feedback right now. it's good. So the frame, the ratio of your picture in the frame is good, because I know some people, they record too far back, they're too small, or they're too close like this, which is not bad. But I think for me, I like your position, which is good. Like you're not too far, too close. And very impressive is you have really good eye contact with your audience, because you are, yeah, you guys notice that too, right? So it does feel like you are directly looking at your audience as you speak this, right? And then I do like one more thing that you may not notice, or other may not notice, is that you have your son in or your daughter in the background, which is good. I just wish that, I'm not sure how comfortable, because some people are not comfortable to have their kids on social media. So maybe that's why they specifically like strategically hide their face. But it is having your kid, especially if you have your younger one, in the background in your video is actually a really good like what advantage, because when people see kids in the background, it just gives them more trust, and they can just see, yeah, you are telling the truth, you are a mom, there's your kid in the background, right? So leverage kind of that, right? Because you do. Well, for me, my kids are older, so it's harder for me, and the leverage is not the same. But for people who have younger kids, it is a good leverage. It just shows that you are a mom and this is what you do. You're able to, like, for example, you could say, like, right now I'm dropping my kids at school, right? And whatnot. So like everything's, I don't understand the content, but just visually it's good. So what I suggest is that, like, I don't know the content of your story either. So I don't know what you're saying in there. I don't know if that needs to be edited or changed, but what I would do is just do the same like thing, but maybe in your house or maybe at a park. I know it's cold there right now, so probably that's not an option for Calgary right now, because
I tried it. I was freezing. My hands were freezing and I was shaking.
Yeah.
And I think that video is not good at all.
Yeah. So there you go.
I
Yeah.
was
It's too
cold,
cold
yeah.
for you to do outside, but maybe when it's a bit warmer, like even, but I mean, right now it's winter, so you have snow, which is good, like recording with your kids out in this, playing in the snow. But then again, if you do a snow video, it's seasonal. So you can't be running that ad in the spring or summer, because it sort of look outdated if you're running an ad with the snow. So that's the only disadvantage. So then the other thing is, I just suggest to do it in your house. And I know one of the Master people did share the best place. She tests many different places in her home, and she goes, her winning video was in her kitchen. So you can try one in the kitchen, because I think the kitchen is quite a personal space. It just does really showcase that you are a real person, especially people, you might not look, but people, when they watch a video, they might look in the background. They'll see, oh, that spice that you have, or, oh, they've got the same coffee maker, or, oh, they've got the same, something, right? And they do connect with something like that. Because I know for one of my ad, my mentee said, oh, I saw your fish sauce in the background, and that's the same brand that I buy. So it's just little details. So when you do record in the kitchen, guys, strategically, we are in marketing. So sometimes marketing is all about staging sometime too, right? Because, it's still our life, but we just kind of prop it up a little bit, make more presentable, put strategically certain, like if you're running this Persian ad and you want to attract your community, then put the food item or spices or appliances or stuff that is particular to your audience, right? Like for me, from being a Vietnamese background, that's why I put out that fish sauce, because all Vietnamese use fish sauce, and then have some spices or stuff like that. So it can really attract. So a good location is the kitchen, or then the other one is maybe just at the kitchen bar, eating bar, or a dining table, or in the living room, but with your kid in the background, like either they're doing homework or they're playing a game or something like that. Because it just shows, this is a life, because our business is lifestyle marketing. So you want to be in your ad, even though you talk about the business, but in the video, you also, without talking, they can see the lifestyle that you have. Is that now you're able to have the flexibility to work at home with your kid, right? Or like I said, at the playground, right? Your kids are playing, you're recording your video, and just say, you know what, today it's Wednesday afternoon, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, not morning, in the PM. I just picked up my kids. I'm able to go to the school, pick up my kids and stay and let them play on the playground for 15 minutes, half an hour before we go home. Because why? Because I get to decide when and where I want to work. So it just shows, like, I'm sure there's lots of parents that want to have that. Like, we're so stuck at work. Like, when I was before I was working, I want to go pick up my kids from school, but I can't because I'm stuck at work. So there's going to be mom that does. And when you portray that lifestyle, so I say it's just not the content of what you're actually speaking and saying, but it's the whole package of your video. So that's why it's not very important, but it is an important piece to strategically stage your video. I know like test video. So doesn't just mean go out and just whip out your phone and record a video without really putting effort into what you are doing. So you got to be intentional, like what kind of message do you want your audience to relate? So this also comes back to that I noticed in another chat we have on Flock where one business partner shared that, she had great success at getting leads, but she's not getting them to convert to buyers. So I go, yes, you can get leads, but then what the message in your video and the content, like I said, the video, maybe you are just attracting not the right people with the right mindset to join the business, right? Maybe I don't know what she say in the content, but it could be one of those that, those people that likes those get rich quick, like put in little effort, little investment, but having big return. And when they hear that, they're excited, they click because they're always looking for something that can make quick money. So you get a whole bunch of leads, but all those leads are just looky-loo that is only looking for a get rich quick. And they're not, and even if they do join it, they're not gonna stick around because this business takes time, effort to build. It's not an overnight thing, right? So they're gonna bail as soon as they're in and they know that it takes time and effort, right? So maybe, I don't know what her content is, but she says she has lots of leads, but no buyer. And she just doesn't know why. Like, it's not that her ads not getting lead, but I go, yeah, you're getting lead is one thing, but it's the quality leads that we want. So that's why I get attracts people who are like you. So that's what she's sharing. And from those content as I go, what, collecting leads is one thing, but we got to collect quality leads, right? And that's why everything is a testing phase. So obviously the first thing we need to do is test an ad or a video that actually brings in leads. Because there's some videos you do no leads, so we don't even know if it's good or bad. And then there are videos that gives you lead, but no buyers. So which means it could be your targeting is off, but then if YouTube, like what I mentioned earlier, there's really no targeting there because it's just broad, like Persian speaking, right? So then maybe the content or the message they're getting, even though you talk about the business, all like that, but it's just somehow in that message, the underlying message you're sending out is, hey, you're going to get, rich with doing nothing. And they're excited to click and register, but they're not even going to attend the webinar because it's 90 minutes. Some people, I've got leads, I say, I don't have time to watch this webinar. Can you just tell me what this thing is about? I'm like, you know what? If you don't have time to watch this webinar, then it's not for you because once you do get inside, it's going to need time and effort to build. So if you don't even have that 90 minutes to invest into watch a free, it doesn't even cost you anything to learn how this business can help you change your life, then I don't think you're a good fit because how can you expect to be making 10,000 a month if you don't even have 90 minutes to watch a webinar to see if it's a fit for you? So that's a way where we filter, having people watch this webinar is also a filtering system, right? If people are truly serious and wanting this bad enough, they will invest the time to learn more. And when you are serious, you want as much information as possible, right? So I always feel the people that actually follow my instruction, signed up, watch the webinar, they're coachable because you can get people that's always doing this. And you need to come with a place that, hey, I hold the golden key. If you want to in on a piece of this, you need to do what I'm telling you. So don't succumb to them when they asking for information for you. They're demanding from you, like, tell me what this is about or all of this. Just stand your ground and say, you know what, this is just the way it is. If you want more, then you need to do like I said, if they are truly serious and curious and want to do this, in the end, they will do it. But if they're just want really quick information without effort or time, then the easier you give them the content, the easier they will not value what you give them, because that's what life is. When you get something too easily or for free, you don't value it as much. But the stuff that takes you time and effort and money to make or to get, you value it more, right? Just say if someone give you a gift, it's great, but maybe it was free, but if something that you worked hard and paid for yourself, like you work really hard to save up the money to pay for it, you're gonna respect it, you're gonna value it more, right? So that's part of the reason why our system is the way it is, and that's why it is a converting funnel. So it is a way for us to filter, because obviously you're working online, we're working with millions of people around the world, and if we don't have a way to funnel and filter out the quality people, you're going to be on your phone nonstop replying to people. So if you succumb, if you give in to every demand that they say, it's like when they join, like they're going to run you, like they're going to demand so much from you, and you're going to be exhausted and it's draining. So, right, I know when we're new, we're testing, we're trying to get leads, and we almost feel like we're trying, like it's almost like we're trying too hard. And when you do try too hard, also your audience can sense and feel it. It's like, oh, why is she trying to get me to join this? Like what's in it for her? Because obviously people will have that question. It's like, what's the benefit for them if I join? There must be something. That's why she's trying so hard to get me. So that's why, like for me in the past, I noticed when I push people away, I go, you know what, it's not for you. I don't think you should join. Or you know what, that's fine. Good luck with everything. Hope you find something that works for you. They actually come back and say, okay, I watched a webinar. What's the next step? Right. So you just have to show them that, you know what, I'm here if you need me, but I'm not going to be here if you demand all this from me. So sometimes I know it's hard to stand that ground when we are wanting people, we want buyers, we want leads, but the more we want, the more we may drive people away, because their flags will be raised, right? Like, why are you sweet talking me into doing this? What it is for you? That's just the way life is. Like nobody is just going to be so nice to you for no reason. They're usually like nice to you because they want something out of you. So people will have, and of course, we're working online. We're all strangers to each other. They're going to be scared because there are a lot of scam online. So people will be scared. So that's why they have a lot of like, a lot of warnings, a lot of things. So they're doing the due diligence, but at the same time, the more you're trying to persuade them, the more you're going to chase them away. Right. So you need to, that's why it's called attraction marketing. You got to let them come to us. Okay. Thank you for sharing your video with us.
Thank you so much, Karen, for all the great tips.
No worries. Anybody else has any other question?
Me. Karen, how long do we have to wait on the YouTube ad to make a change when you start a campaign? How long do we have to wait to make a change? How many days?
There is no specific time. So like I was telling Jose, if your ad account is very new, then I would say give it like about 3 to 5 days. If it's like 0 lead, then maybe looking into editing something or coming up with a new video, right? So it's hard because obviously if you're running $10 a day after 4 days, it's already $40 and no leads, right? So if you do get the lead, the next day is $50. So, some people do hang and wait that long, but I go, when your ad account is new on YouTube, just be prepared that first month, you're just paying YouTube to collect data for you. If you get leads, that's great. But if you don't get any leads, don't get discouraged. It's just a learning curve. It's just the same when we run likes campaign on Facebook. You run it, but you don't get leads from likes campaign, but you need to do the warm up. And the same thing, after the likes campaign, message ad. And a lot of time message ad doesn't work for people, but we still do the 2 weeks until we get to lead generation or ad conversion, right? So just be patient, like it's like that. But then after about a month, then when you start testing, they should have a good amount of data that can help you optimize. And that's when you're at that stage, like testing is like 3 to 5 days. If no leads, then you need to turn it off or change something, because that's just like after 5 days, no lead, you're just hoping, wishing that it's going to be different the next day. And who knows, maybe by luck, you will get 1 lead the next day, and that's $50 a lead. But then it might be the next 2-3 days, 0 leads. So you might go towards $100 or for 2 leads or something. So that's too high. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3 days, I still leave. 4, 5, after 5 for sure, like no, because anything over 50, I think that's extremely high, which just means that your ad is not resonating. The audience is not connecting to your ad. So even if you keep running it, you're not going to it's not going to produce leads for you. You might get a random lead, but in general, it's not going to work, right? There's still going to be people that may click because you spend enough money, because it's all a numbers game. It's all a stats, right? Like if your ad is good, then maybe you have like a 10% conversion rate, right? Out of 100 that sees your ad, maybe 10 people will click and sign. But if your ad is really terrible, maybe you're at a 1%. So, after 100 people see it, maybe one will sign up, right? Because it's not as effective. But you will, if you run it enough, you probably will get a lead, but it's going to cost you way too much for that one lead. Yeah.
Also, where do you have your all replays, the two meetings that you had for this topic?
In this group, it's in the Flock chat. I'll just share with you guys and show you guys where you can get all that. So in Flock, if you are not in this group, then go and, so if you guys can see, it's called Karen's Ad Content Tips. So you can just go to Flock, type in this search channel or search, and you should be able to see mine. And then you can just join on your own because it's public. I don't have restriction. Because that way I don't have to go add people, right? So it saves me time. So go in there. So all my replay, I post in here every time we have it. So if you guys do not know, so this is on a laptop, but you can do this on a phone too. So you go to files and then you would go to pin content, which I did not pin it there. So shared content is all the link or pictures that are on here. So our last meeting here, we took, a screenshot of our meeting, and then here is the Zoom link. And then here is, so here's the replay, the link for our last Zoom. Yeah. So I posted in here so you can go to share content, but I will go back and pin it. So when I'll pin it now. So if I pin it, then if you go into pin, then you will see it. Because if you go share, you see everything that was put in here. So you might have to go through it a lot. So if I pin, here's the other one. So if I pin it, and I usually have the date. So when I pin it, you go into the pin, it just pops up right here. So it's easier for you to access. So anything important, I will pin and you guys can get the information there. So you can access the same thing on your phone. You just have to kind of play around and find wherever this file picture is. This file button is on your phone, and then go to the pin section. So in any chat, you guys can go to this and see all the content that was posted, either it's previous replay or any video or any Google Sheets or anything. So that's just a one way where you can navigate. So yeah, so if you guys are not in this chat, go add yourself in there, because this is also where I post a replay, but also you can ask question in there, because obviously this 1 hour is not going to cover everything. If something comes up, you have a question, or like I mentioned earlier, if you have a video you made, you want to send to me for me to take a look at, you can send it here, right? Or actually private message me, because I might lose it in this chat if people are sending too much stuff. Then that way I can take a look and give you feedback. It's like, oh, it's too long, you're not looking at the video, or I should change this. If it's in English, I can give feedback on the content, but if it's in your language, I can only give you the visual feedback, okay? So this is where you can get all those content.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so we're just about at 10 o'clock. So if there is no other question, we're gonna take a group photo and I'll let you guys go. So next week, come with questions or with videos or with ads that you have if you want.
I have another question.
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, we're still good. I go, if no question, then we end. But if you have question, we can still keep going. Yeah.
Okay. How many campaigns can we put at the same time? How many can we run at the
On
same time?
YouTube? The thing with YouTube is there's no restriction. You can run 10, you can run 20, you can run 1. That's fine. It's not like Facebook where you have to go slowly. So YouTube, you can run, all 10 campaign if you want to test 10 different things. And then with YouTube also, if you have a winning campaign or a winning ad, you can go in there and bump up your budget. Just say you test at $10 and it's really working. And maybe you have $50 budget that you can spend on the ad, then just go and increase that to $50 and it's fine. But people did say that after you do make the increase, maybe for the next 1 or 2 days, the ad might drop a little bit because it's trying to adjust to your budget, but it should pick up again. So with YouTube, you can really quickly, if you find a winning ad, quickly scale it. That's what they call scaling by doing it. So for example, you're testing 5 campaign. $10 each, that's a total of 50. But if you found one that's winning, then you just turn off all your other 4 and increase this budget, because these one are turned off, so they're not spending money. Then just go and increase the winning one to $50. So it's example, if that's the budget you're comfortable with. But if you just have a limited budget, then you can test and then just, maybe spend about 1 week, test 5 different things, which is at $50 a day. But when you find your winning ad, then you turn off the other one, then you just have one running and you're not spending $50 a day on ads that are not working, right? So those are how it is. Alrighty.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm okay to answer more questions. It's just that if you guys don't have any more for today, it's just at that hour mark. So we're just gonna end it here. And next week, then maybe we might come back. You might take some of what we learned today and go and test it, and maybe come back next week with more questions. Alrighty. So if there's no other question, then we can just take a quick photo. So that way you guys can leverage on your page. It's a way to just show we have continue support, continue training, right? So if people come, they can feel comfortable if you're posting stuff like this. So this is stuff that should post on your page just to leverage. Okie dokie. So on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, cheese. And I'll do it one more time just for good luck in case someone blinked. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for coming and good luck, guys. Alrighty, bye for now.